Hi, and welcome to Geno's Picks on...
It's under your big fat face, Geno.
Welcome back, Joe. Ooh, take San Francisco. Take San Francisco. I hope it was a great Thanksgiving on SBRforum.com. Love these people. It's great to be back in the studio with my producer, Joe. And I know you're busy with holiday shopping. Daddy's got to get on a plane to Arizona tomorrow, so you can't wait to get to the picks. So let's do it. But first, you know what really grinds my gears? It's him again. I gave him chance after chance and tried to forgive him, but Stevie Johnson is at it again. I sat in this chair less than a year ago after he had that stupid game where he showed up in the do-rag and the wife beater and the why so serious, and the next week he had a terrible game against the Steelers. And this past week, it was a microcosm of the same thing. Act like you've been there before when you score a touchdown, when you have a big game. Did he? No. He caught that first touchdown, well, the only touchdown in the Bills game. And what did he do? He shot himself in the leg and did a plane crashing celebration. I have no problem with any kind of celebration you do, but take responsibility for your actions because it cost you 15 yards and gave the momentum right back to the Jets because Rayner tried to overkick it, low laser, 15 yards, 3 plays later, touchdown, Plaxico burst. But here's what gets me. Later on, the next day, you're like, well, I just thought of it on the spot and I regret it. You did not think of it on the spot. You couldn't wait to do that dance when you scored a touchdown, and it showed because after that, you had nothing else to play for, which is why you dropped 2 potential touchdown passes on the last drive. Stevie Johnson, I tried, but you're a punk. Grow the hell up and help your team. Now, let's get to the picks. My first pick, this is the Thursday night game, people, so you're going to get 5 other picks, all right? But if you follow me on SBR Forum and my daily blog, you saw the right for this. But let's get to it. My first pick, Thursday night. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to Seattle, where they're giving 3 points to the Seahawks. This is how little I know about football anymore, because I cannot believe the Eagles are only giving 3 to Seattle. We saw both games last week. The Eagles lost at home to the best team in football, not named the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, the Seahawks lost at home to the worst team in football in the Redskins, not named the Indianapolis Colts. People, look, I know Michael Vick is out and Jeremy Maclin is out, but they still have a very deep team. Riley Cooper is playing really well. Jason Avant is playing well, and I think Vince Young could start for a lot of teams in the NFL, namely the Seattle Seahawks, whose starting quarterback is Tavares Jackson. Who's the GM there? That's right, John Schneider. Let me tell you something, John Schneider, GM, who went out of his way to select Tavares Jackson. When your backup is Charlie Whitehurst, they both stink. Let me tell you, when they run you out of Seattle, and they will, maybe you could work at a woman's shelter, because either way, you're surrounded by people, and you're picking men that will do 2 things, screw you and beat you, and nothing else. People, I like the Eagles here. Take the Birds, lay the 3. The Birds being the Eagles. My next pick, well, first pick if you missed Thursday. The Oakland Raiders travel to Miami where they're giving 3 to the Miami Dolphins. People, this is how little I know about football, because if someone told me the line started where they were getting 1 and now they're getting 3, I would have thought you meant Miami. But whatever. Yes, Miami's really good. Whatever. They're playing a lot better. My butt. Sure, they covered against Dallas this past Thanksgiving, but I still question a terrible illegal contact call that swung the momentum back to them, and they still couldn't win. Miami is getting better, but the Raiders are really good. Their defense is really fast, and I don't care what you say about them only scoring 1 touchdown against the Bears this past Sunday, because Sebastian Janikowski's leg is all you need, people. In fact, I watched that Bears game, and the last time I saw a white man doing that much desperate kicking, I wasn't watching football. I was watching Rodney King footage. Well, the Blacks coming out on top again, people. Take the Raiders and the 3. My next pick, the Chicago Bears are giving 7 to the Chiefs in Chicago. Yes, why are the Chiefs only getting 7? Because Caleb Haney's a QB. And I know Caleb Haney's coming off a loss to the Raiders, but I don't care because I like Caleb Haney. And that was a nice warm-up game for him. And realize Caleb Haney spent the entire season standing right next to Mike Martz and his offense that's really clicking this year, watching Jay Cutler make the plays. And I think he's going to be great. And I'll tell you, regardless of what you think of Caleb Haney, what do you got on the other side of the ball at quarterback? Exactly. The Chiefs are starting Tyler Palko again. Tyler Palko, how do you think he's going to play? Not that he wasn't terrible to begin with, but how's he going to play now that he's looking over his shoulder at Kyle Orton, who also stinks? That's going to be a distraction. And I don't care who plays at quarterback for the Chiefs, whether it's Orton or Palko, because this team is fading faster than the Occupy Wall Street movement. And a lot like the Occupy Wall Street movement, you're going to see the same thing. They're going to throw up some big, stupid, useless numbers in a terrible losing effort. People, I'm talking about the Chiefs, and I'm telling you, take the Bears, lay the 7. Which brings me to my lock of the week. Say what you want, but the locks have been pretty good of late. Dallas Cowboys are giving 4.5 to the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. People, I don't know why it's only 4.5, and I know I've been wrong most of the time this year, but it's going to turn around. Let me tell you something. I know the Cowboys are kind of overrated, and I watched as they couldn't cover against the Dolphins, and I know they have trouble on the road. But whether Dallas is up and down, the Cardinals absolutely stink. Hey, I got great news. Skelton isn't starting. Hey, I have bad news. Kevin Kolb probably is starting, and Kevin Kolb is actually worse than Skelton because every time Kolb goes on the field, he has to play under all this pressure to perform to the contract. He won't. Take the Cowboys. Lay the 4.5. Which brings me to my Double Your Money Monday Night Bet, or as I like to call it, San Diego on the board. Where do you think we're going? People, I said it a month ago, until further notice, bet against San Diego. And we've gone 4-0 with that strategy. Maybe it's time to lift it. Chargers travel to Jacksonville. Jacksonville just fired their head coach, Jack Del Rio, because they stink, right? And now their new interim coach is Mel Tucker. Ironic, because when I think of the Chargers' soon-to-be ex-coach, the first name I think of begins with M, and the second one rhymes with Tucker. Norv, you've screwed me for so many years, and I'm sick of it. But I love the fact that you're going to be staring at the sideline at your fate, and that just might prompt you to play football a little better. And fortunately, you have a band of guys who never played for you in their life, but they always played for pride. Now they'll be on national TV, and I think they play just well enough to cover, people. I have 2 words for you, Marty. Tick-tock. But in the meantime, the ban is over. Take the Bolts, lay the 3. Those are Geno's picks. I got to get on a plane.